Okay, welcome to day one of week one. I want to give you a quick intro to what to expect. So, over the next 7 days, we will look at what I judge are the most valuable 7 lessons that you can start applying in your life right now, if you aren't already. And there are exercises every single day to help you implement and apply the ideas that we're learning. I found in my life ideas are great, but nothing really starts to change in our lives until we start applying things regularly, powerfully, consistently. So let's talk about taking ownership. Taking ownership is probably the most important lesson I've ever learned in my whole life. I can look back at some of the successes I've had with going to university. I studied at Cambridge, with getting into the Navy on the pilot program, and I'd like to be an aviator, and with various other successes since and before. With all of them, I had made a personal decision. I was going to make something happen. I was going to battle through excuses, and it was up to me, no matter what, to make it happen. I wanted it for myself. And with each one of those challenges that I've had to face, there were many times when there were external circumstances, there were reasons why I might not be able to achieve my goal, but it was up to me to make it happen. Let's go into the exercises. And what I'm doing with the next 7 days is I'm doing the exercises with you. And I want to show you my answers so that you have an idea of, first of all, the kind of depth that I go into with my own answers. You can see that I actually apply this in my own life. And hopefully it makes it a bit more engaging for you as well. These aren't just sterile, boring exercises to do. This is something which you can apply in your life right now and start using to make changes, to put your life on a different track. So let's talk about the blame audit. You can see I did mine right here. And I thought about some of the things that some of the people I'm blaming in my life. I blame my partner for, she sort of got really agitated and almost lost her mind over something the other day. And I blamed her for not managing her emotions well, as we had an argument afterwards. But what I realized from my side is I stopped communicating in the run up to that argument. I stopped communicating the way I want to, the way I normally do, and that pushed her over the edge for sure. I had a man in one of my men's groups who I've had pretty significant challenges with, and who he doesn't trust me. And I thought about, how have I contributed to that? I've contributed to that by when he first joined our circle, I didn't personally make sure that he had the entry agreements, the agreements that the rest of us in our group all knew about. I didn't personally make sure that he had those, that he knew them, that he understood them. And that's something where, going forwards, I can recognize if I want to take full responsibility for the circumstances of my life, I'm gonna have to sometimes do things which are more than what I'm doing right now. That sounds small. That sounds like, well, it wasn't my responsibility in some levels. There's 10 other guys in my group who could have done it. But looking at my life going forwards, how am I not making sure that people are well supported when they join my life in some way? For example, with you right now, joining this course, joining this community, how am I, not making sure that you are completely well supported, that you have all the information you need, and that there's a clear path forwards for you? I'm thinking about that a lot, and there's a lesson for me in here. And I had another situation where, with a different man in a different club who kept pushing my boundaries a lot last week. And it's something I hadn't really thought about, but I noticed I was becoming passive aggressive. And what I didn't do, rather than blame him for his pushing my boundaries, me taking responsibility for that is saying, putting a clear limit, a clear boundary on our communication and what I expect in terms of how we communicate with each other. Right, let's go on to the improve list. Boom, next page. So, what I wrote was I'm very focused on creating content right now. I'm doing a lot of marketing videos, and improving those is a big deal for me. I'd like to find more activities to go out and do in my city. And let's see what else. And I made a list of technological things like automatically moving files around on my computer and doing backups. And the other point I wrote about was I noticed my athletic conditioning isn't quite what I want it to be right now. So I'm going to try and put in a bit more of an athletic focus in some of my training sessions. And staying one step ahead, right there. I have been stressed recently, and I noticed tension building up in my body. I noticed that I was getting agitated with people, and I also noticed I started having some drinks, some adult drinks, and on the back of that, I know that will cause me problems going forwards if I don't manage my stress better. So I wrote this page a couple of days ago, and since then I have done a yoga session to help me process some of my tension in my body, and I've had a bit of downtime to myself. Those were a couple of actions which I took to start getting ahead of my stress. So this is day one done. Hopefully that gives you an idea of what you can expect for future days. The first week course has got more exercises, and in future weeks after the first week it calms down a bit, so that there's just something to think about every day. Keep you ticking over. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on the main page. Drop me a message and just say what you thought about the exercises. Did you get anything out of it? Even write down some of your answers if you want to share them, or to help you integrate them a little bit more. Saying things again and again is very helpful for us learning on a deeper level. With that, today's done. See you tomorrow.